Hey guys, Sax226 here, and welcome back to Let's Play Rayman 2 for the LPerLeague. Today we are headed to the Marshes of Awakening after gaining our second special power. And we're now off to go look for magical masks and some god and stuff like that. Oh, and we're also talking in France.
No!
Well, attempt at the accent.
Attempt at the accent, I believe.
Sacre bleu!
Any individuals from France, please do not be offended. We do not mean any insult to your culture.
Authorized by the LPerLeague YouTube.
Thank you.
What he said.
We just love it.
I love how you could get the voice right at that speed. Perfectly, without any speed up at all. Yeah.
I do enjoy the ability for, I think, commercials in the early 2000s.
Oh, yes.
Didn't have any audible tell that there was some sort of voice modulation to them. It was just someone naturally speaking unusually fast. I loved that. It was, it takes skill to do that, but now it's almost cheap, because you can definitely hear it.
Yeah.
So, we're not heading that way at all, because Mr. Grumpy Pants doesn't want us to go that way.
You shall not pass!
Pretty much.
Why was his hand so grumpy, man?
Because he guards the Cave of Bad Dreams.
Missed his nap.
Well, I mean, why would you want to go in a cave of bad dreams? Go in the cave of good dreams.
This is the Rayman universe. The Cave of Good Dreams probably died with the heart of the world.
God dang it.
You know, that's actually, one, that's pretty accurate, and two, I always thought that the good dreams were pretty much what created the world, and the bad dreams just pretty much in that cave because they're trying to keep it away from everything else. And we freed Sam the Snake.
Oh
This is gonna be an episode of accents, isn't it?
boy! Oui, oui! Great Scotland! Don't tell me you're going to speak French the entire time!
Don't tell me how to live my life!
Oh, golly.
What are we even doing more?
We are listening to Sam the Snake. Hiss and rap.
Tell us about how our friend who saved us from the pirate ship got kidnapped by pirates in the middle of the swamp, and they went that away.
Wait, is it the way his face is pointing, or the way his tail is pointing? Because the tail's
That
going-
away. Cue awesome music.
Yeah, that's rather good music.
I would put this on my iPod.
So, this is a gimmick,
Plot twist, it's already on there.
and my goodness, it takes a while to get used to the controls.
That's okay, every game has an instance of things that are either incredibly fantastic or absolutely annoying.
This is kind of a meld of both, because the gimmick itself is just awesome. Controlling it can be a very tricky thing. So not only do you need to get that super yellow lump, you also need to jump in at the switch.
Ooh.
Yes, they jump into Switch.
And remember that whenever one of those zombie chickens is coming up, to hold down the shoulder buttons to dash and knock them out. Oh, we finally got a health boost. Lovely.
Fantastic!
Very much so.
And now, behold, the killer of many of my runs, trying to get all three of these cages and all of the lumps. But we actually got them this time, thank you. But now things get awful.
It's giving me a bit of a dizzy-induced confusion system.
Yeah.
I don't understand either.
I don't understand it either. It seems like the camera should be following the snake instead of Rayman in this case. Because of things like that, where just suddenly there's an enemy in front of you because the snake randomly turns, and Rayman hasn't caught up with that turning.
Well, that's the thing, because the difficult thing is being able to see where all of the obstacles are, so I think they were going more for using the camera on Rayman so you could focus on dodging the obstacles a little more. Because if it all focused on Sam, then you'd just be flying off to the side of the camera. Like,
I can see that.
and I'm just missing everything.
Was that a pirate fishing?
That was a pirate fishing.
Fascinating.
That was me blowing myself up. That was a video cut.
Such video cut.
I'm hearing yakety sax right now.
This one piranha!
Are you not permitted to attack in this form?
No, because...
That done.
That darn piranha. Because the energy balls you would shoot are being used to form the tether for the water ski on the back of Sam.
They just have an answer for everything.
So you can't shoot because you're holding onto it. Excuses for everything, pretty much.
Well, at least it's
So do we finally get it this time?
logically sound.
Now this bit. Yahoo! Now, please tell me that... Oh, thank goodness. I couldn't remember if the piranha got me there or not.
Ah.
Chiaro,
Oh.
forse malay.
Meanwhile, someone in the background just saying, help. Goodbye, Loch Ness Monster.
It's into yeah.
The
Slash.
TC in the cage is getting impatient and he's ruining the somber moment between Rayman and Sam.
Like, you're right here, just save me or something. Allow me to bow.
We had a somber moment, time to dance. How does that even make sense?
I don't know if you're allowed to question it. It is Rayman, after all.
Oh, and look on the bright side.
Do-do-do-do.
We're actually going to the bonus level this time. Now, this is quite possibly one of the hardest bonus games ever, and believe me, the button mashing required is a lot harder than it seems. If you remember Matt's playthrough of Rayman Revolution, he never got this game completed, this bonus level. So,
Cue the yakety sax.
I left in the sound of myself mashing the keys on my keyboard so you could hear just what nonsense you have to go through to finish this.
Oh my.
Wow. This rivals me in the Great Button Masher.
Now, that's the first time you ever do a bonus level. It gets harder and changes itself up every single time you do it. And the prizes get better, but it gets considerably harder every time. It's just crazy.
What was the prize?
I got some of my health refilled.
That's it?
That's it.
You almost break your keyboard for that? No.
Yes. Yes, I did.
No.
So
What a
now,
terrible decision.
we are heading to the Bayou.
Meanwhile,
Meanwhile, at the plot,
suddenly another 5,000 slaves have been added, but it's not steadily growing, so their income of slaves is slowly decreasing.
Well, I guess that's okay.
In Razorbeard's private cabin.
Now that's the kind of beard I'd like.
Dagger armor.
dagger armor?
Dagger beard. Your horribleness. Oh, I vaguely remember this character.
Razorbeard is a brilliant villain, at least in design. His methods are a little poorly thought out. Oh, and
Nom nom.
this. He ate one of the 1,000 lums that was made up the heart of the world.
So
Well,
the
that's
heart
always good.
forever be incomplete?
We'll get to that. We will get to that. That is an issue that comes up.
Yay, plot devices. I am now interested. It has succeeded.
It won't come up for quite a number of levels, but yeah, it is indeed covered and retrievable. But since we've collected 60 lums Before this point, we can now enter a time race.
Did she always have that tail?
Yes.
Even when she was sitting when you rescued her?
Though some other games think it's a ponytail, so I don't know.
I think that would make more sense because when she was sitting, she didn't have a tail. Fascinating.
That's one way to respond.
That's all I can say. That's all I can say in response to this because I don't know what to say else.
Yeah. I take it that that fascinating is in response to the annotation I put in there. Probably. Maybe. I don't know.
Probably. Yes.
That is due to the fact that for a long time when I played this game as a kid, every time I did these bonus levels, my dad would just walk past in the hallway and he'd just hear the music and he'd just be like, "Come on, Barbie, let's go party." I'm like, it's not that song! Do not sing that. Why?
Wasn't that one of the definitive 90s songs?
Yes. Don't even. But yeah. Pretty much just checkpoint to checkpoint lump collecting. Provided you can get there quick enough. It's all good.
Well, it's not bad. It seems entertaining at least.
And Sean has gone quiet.
Indeed.
I have?
Oh, you did before.
It was quiet for a second.
Oh.
Bah.
This actually seems like a timed challenge that wouldn't bother me immensely. Normally I hate timed challenges in games because I want to do things at my own pace, but there's only one direction to go and it doesn't seem incredibly rushed to do it, but I've yet to see the end, so I don't know how much time you're going to end with how much leeway you're going to have.
Oh, okay. That ain't too bad.
Well, hey, you just ended with 10 extra seconds. That seems like a generous amount of time.
Honestly, the first one is a lot easier than the second, because this was the Walk of Life, the other one's the Walk of Power. Walk of Power is considerably harder, honestly, I find. I'm just messing around with the camera buttons. So after that interlude, let's actually go back to the level we're meant to be doing. Take 2 of following a pirate ship through the swamp. Possibly.
Pirate ships these days.
Them and their craziness, just swamping around.
Doing swampy things.
Wow, I did not expect the commentary to die this much.
Alright. According to the internet, Lee has a tail.
Yeah,
It's, yeah.
which is, that's the thing, because in some continuities, it's kind of fused with her head, and they say it's a ponytail, but they really need to change her anatomy for it to work like that. And they actually tried doing that with, I think, Raving Rabbits on the Game Boy Advance, and it kind of works, but then you're like, but I thought it was a tail.
I never understood the whole rabbits concept. I figured when they introduced rabbits to the Rayman universe, it was just dying and they needed some sort of gimmick as an excuse to keep it alive.
The whole idea behind that initially was to have an invading force from underground that was basically trying to overrule the surface world. And then they tried to turn the concept into that they're aliens from another world, and then tried to turn it into, oh no, they want to put you in an arena to do this, that, and the other thing, so they trapped you, and then it just turned into a minigame montage, and only the handheld versions of it actually ended up being decent.
I like the one where they wanted to go to the moon.
Yeah, they took off. They took over the TV. Exactly, Jared.
Wasn't that a bunch of Wii U minigames or something? I haven't been up to date with the Rayman franchise.
I basically stopped paying attention to the rabbit stuff, but paid more attention to stuff like Origins and Legends, because, you know, that's where it's at.
Of course. Meanwhile, in Pirate Ship in the Swamp,
Shooting cages and standing on trees.
just Rayman things.
Rayman-y things.
Pirate Ships Lost in Swamps, the sequel. Falling Bridges. I like how it patiently waits for you to catch up, and then oh, you're here, just zooms off.
Well, the whole idea is, I guess the whole idea is, you know, we'll wait for you, and then we'll ambush you when you think we're not paying attention. But then they decide, oh, instead of actually shooting you, we're going to move. Which isn't quite the approach you would think we'd take, but yeah, we're. Ground, what are you doing?
What ground? This world doesn't need ground.
This world doesn't need ground. Boom.
Ground is merely an illusion of where our feet stand.
Oh, that's the motto that the pirate ship's going on, that's for sure.
Well, it floats, so it doesn't need ground either.
That is blowing everything up.
It doesn't think you need ground. Evolve wings instead of feet, Rayman. You've already lost your limbs.
You've got the hair to do it.
His hair is quite fashionable.
Yeah, but this is around the point where they are trying new gimmicks here and there, but I find one of the good things about Rayman is every time it introduces a gimmick, it leaves it self-contained for the most part, and only things that are, you know, pivotably usable in other levels come back. So, for example, you know, switches, extending bridges and stuff, that's a basic, simple concept that comes up all the time.
It works.
And that's been used in a bunch of other levels too. But this is a bit different.
Classic fall traps.
The whole Donkey Kong approach to everything.
But you can just sit outside the ring and the barrels don't... I don't see any fear in this when the barrels don't extend to the entirety of the platform. You can just sit on the outside and laugh at them as they fall by in infinite numbers.
That's the idea, and then they end in this threat here, where it's a case of there are collectibles on the thin platforms that you can't sneak past them on.
They
So
tried
the barrels are laughing at you.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's not at all intimidating.
In Soviet Russia, battle jump on you. That's not Soviet Russia.
I don't know how to do a good Russian accent. Admittedly, it's one of the only accents.
What's the name of the guy from Grand Theft Auto?
There's a guy in Grand Theft Auto.
Nicola.
Ah,
Nicola.
Nicola.
Drat.
Hello, my name is Nicola.
This the
I do
art.
things and I drive cars recklessly around the city when I'm drunk.
I laugh at local city.
Yeah, that's the one.
Opportunity, they said. Jobs, they said. I'm not saying it. I just am crippling debt.
Thanks, Mom.
First year of college and
What?
I'm already in crippling debt.
I don't know. I'm tired.
I'm sorry, Jared.
It's cool, man.
It's
It's not Rayman, but it's cool, man.
And another health boost, thank you.
Hey, you need to calm down with your woohoos over there.
Indeed.
Oh, hello.
Oh. That's not the crown. Where does crown go? He must not be the king.
No.
The crown's the
The
king.
king's in the next level.
The king.
Da-na-na.
The king!
I am the king!
Bonus level.
And...
Well then.
And with that, we leave it there. Next time on Let's Play Rayman 2, we'll actually be going after the first Mask of Polygus.
Da 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 da.